Madam Speaker, I thank you. I rise to support this motion, of course with amendments, which I'm anticipating some amendments. And I think you speak through the Speaker, but as the way it is, you know, I'm cognizant of the fact that this disease is very serious. And we cannot continue to behave as if we are immortal. Madam Speaker, I am a member of the Senate Health Committee, and I know I'm privy to information on how dangerous this disease is. You know, we are sitting here when, the truth be told, none of us can actually stand here and say that they are not aware of one person, a relative or a friend, who has suffered COVID vaccine, or COVID pandemic, and actually even maybe died. So I think the key most important thing is for us to ask ourselves, what is the most responsible thing that we should do as a legislative arm of government? You know, I'm not averse to the fact that, yes, there are three arms of government which are independent. The judiciary, the executive, and the legislative arm of government, they are all independent bodies. And I agree, completely agree, Madam Speaker, with my good friend, Senator Haneri, when he says that the president cannot control parliament. But we are not blind. We know what is happening. People are dying on a daily basis. I support the fact that, you know, when we are sitting here right now, in fact, what we are doing is that we are trying to play dumb. You know, we are trying to behave as if we are immune to this pandemic, which is taking away the high and mighty of this world. So the truth of the matter is that, do we need to adjourn? Yes, we do. But what does it say in terms of our work as parliament? Can we continue with our work as parliament? Yes, we can. But we have to do it in an intelligent way that does not put our families in danger. When we stand here, we represent communities. We represent people who elected us to be here. But we have to do so in a very wise way. When we call for this amendment, one of the reasons why I am supporting this motion for adjournment, but of course with amendments, and I hope that those amendments will be brought by Senator Ochilo, which I'll be happy to second, on how we can be able to continue doing our jobs. Let us not, you know, get into this argument of who is more powerful, the executive, the legislative arm of government, or the judiciary. We are three independent arms of government. But the fact remains that there's a lot of things that we must do. And when we go into this adjournment, work of parliament must continue. There's no way you can be able to, you know, continue spreading the disease virtually. We have issues relating to cabinet secretaries that we have called. We've asked them to appear before the committee to respond to matters dealing with the vaccine. They can do so virtually. It doesn't mean that they cannot appear virtually. So when we sit here as distinguished senators, we must be able to put everything on the table and say, yes, we are happy to adjourn. But if we are happy to adjourn, how do we ensure that our work continues? Senator Haneri spoke of something which I believe, and I fully support him, that the executive is continuing, they are doing their work. Madam Speaker, one of the things that this parliament must know is that since we started borrowing money as a country, the national government has received 214 billion shillings to fight COVID. But the money that has gone to the county government is only 7 billion, which is a mere 3.7%. So I think the question you should be asking is this: if we are going to adjourn, how do we ensure that counties receive more money to be able to fight this pandemic, to be able to deal with this issue of COVID-19? So, Madam Speaker, one of the reasons which I strongly believe that if we are going to be able to be honest, I have stood here before, Madam Speaker, and I said, the truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. Just let it go out there and it will defend itself. You know? Let us be very honest. Why is it that we are adjourning? Are we adjourning because we are scared of the effect of COVID-19, or we are joining because we are scared that when we are here, someone else will bring another motion and they will be able to take the day. There are so many debates which are going out. Let us be candid. So the work of our committees is very important. But let us not lie to the Kenyans that we represent here. I'm sure a lot of people are afraid of the argument of BBI, where BBI is right now, you know? But when I stand here and I know that I represent the people who elected me to stand here, I want, and by God, to always be able to tell the truth and to speak the truth. So I support this motion entirely, but I would wish that at least we can be honest. I was not happy with the directive of the Speaker, because when the Speaker gave a directive, it rendered our powers as senators, distinguished senators, you know, it rendered it, you know, useless. Parliament pronounces itself through resolutions, motions. This is a motion that we're discussing. And nothing stops a distinguished senator from bringing in an amendment to be able to make it wise that when we are joining, we can continue performing our jobs. So, Madam Speaker, what I would wish that we can be candid enough and speak about is that, you know, are we adjourning because we are afraid that maybe BBI will pass the way it is, or it will be brought here and bulldozed and will be reduced into voting machines? Or we are adjourning because we are scared of COVID-19? If we are indeed scared of COVID-19, then let us adjourn knowing that we have a fiduciary responsibility. As distinguished senators who serve in different committees, I serve in the Senate, in the Health Committee, Madam Speaker. And when I'm in that committee, I would like to ensure that I do my job diligently to ensure that people who are at home can be able to get vaccinated. I'm not quite happy, Madam Speaker, when I know that I live in Narok, and Narok, Kajiado, Machakos, Kiambu, Nakuru, and Kajiado and Narok borders Narok. They have been zoned as a red zone, but I cannot be able to get there. But are we doing anything? Have we asked the hard question? The questions we need to ask is this: 214 billion has been dispersed into this country through loans, not through grants, through loans. The national government has taken loans worth 214 billion to fight COVID-19. But we, in this Senate of the Republic of Kenya, which represent and protects the interests of counties, as Article 96 of the Constitution says, are only happy and clapping our hands that, yes, 3.7% of the 214 billion has gone into counties. That is where the disease is spreading to.
It's a point of order from Senator Nderitu of Laikipia.
Mr. Speaker, I have listened to... Madam Speaker, I have listened to Senator Olekina talking so candidly, and the way he wants to be very truthful. He's a member of Health Committee. I expected him to be telling us what they have done as a committee, instead of telling us numbers and figures, without telling us, as a committee where he sits, and we are listening to him. I thought he'll be giving us answers as we listen. He tells us, instead of us having, out of the 200 billion that he's talking about, how much, even instead of us, what have they done? What have they done, Madam Speaker? So
point noted, he still has 5 minutes. He may be going there.
But maybe, but he's doing much of fermenting.
Madam Speaker, I'm very happy to have, for the intervention by my good friend who I serve with in the Energy Committee. And that is precisely the reason as to why I'm saying I would want to support this motion with amendments, so that the Senate Health Committee can continue performing its function. Today, we tabled a report in this House.
It's a point of order from Senator Malala. But we are even encouraging that we can use our microphones so that we don't share this one. Yeah, let's try and use our microphones, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Is Senator Olekina in order to support this motion with amendments, yet no amendment has been moved so far? I think this is, he's misleading the House and anticipating debate. So I think you should rule him out
Yeah.
of order and stick on the content of the motion as it is and as tabled. Thank you.
Okay, Senator Olekina, you will
Thank you,
have,
Madam
you will
Speaker.
have
How
a
many
right,
more minutes?
you will have to, you'll have a right to come back when the amendment is tabled.
Madam
So
Speaker.
you don't have to refer to an amendment that we have never seen.
Madam Speaker, I was responding, and I'm happy that my colleagues are raising those concerns, which are the same concerns that each one of us here who has got a fiduciary duty to protect the interests of their county should be raising. You know, yes, COVID is there, it is real. You know, it is decimating our populations. You know, for those who are reported and those who are not reported, Madam Speaker. Those who are lucky to be able to go to hospitals and those who are unlucky. Yesterday, Madam Speaker, we had the Cabinet Secretary saying that other people, and I'm sure that the rich and famous, have been able to, you know, gift themselves with the oxygen that is supposed to be out there in the hospital to help everybody. So, Madam Speaker, I have no problem with my colleagues speaking, my colleagues questioning my support of this motion. All I said is this, and this is in my contribution. I said that I would be happy, because the reason why I'm saying that, Madam Speaker, is because I would not want this motion to fail on this floor. Because we have to lead by example, where the economy has essentially been closed. It's shut. But we are going on here. Kenyans will be saying members of parliament are happy to continue staying in office because they're getting allowances. So I'm saying, let us save face. Let us be honest and candid and say, yes, we want to close because it is dangerous. I support the idea that, in fact, even before we come here on a weekly basis, we should be submitting our negative results to the clerk. That is what is happening in other countries. But if we are standing here and contributing, and we are saying, no, we are opposing, we want to continue doing business, what business are we going to do when Mama Mboga out there cannot go to the market because Nairobi is considered red zone, and where she is getting her goods is from the other zone? So, Madam Speaker, let me change it a little bit and say, let me contribute to this motion. Okay? I will, because when I started raising up and saying, other people who want to continue sitting here on a daily basis and not thinking about those people who elected them, those people who are jobless, are saying we want to continue working here, they are not discussing issues. They are not raising concerns. Serious concern is what Senator Kinyo has raised. Senator Kinyo has said, Senator Olekina, you sit in the health committee. Tell us what you're saying. What are you doing? The only way that I can be able to continue doing this is when we pass a resolution in this House, Madam Speaker, which is supported by a majority of the distinguished senators in this House, that says, let us adjourn, but adjourn in a certain way that we can always continue doing our job. So to finalize, Madam Speaker, I want to state as follows. I will support this motion with amendments, and I hope that those amendments will be allowed in to be able to come in. Because what we are afraid
Senator,
of...
please don't refer to amendments. It is what is making members impatient with you.
Then let me put it this way. It is not a book of a lamentation, as my good friend Senator Haneri would call it. It is a fact. We lay the facts on the table and say we are in deep shit. We are in problems as a country. What is happening in this country right now is that we are not willing to tell the truth. The Speaker
A point of order
gave...
from Senator Naomi Masitsa.
Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, we have heard here Senator Malala say that we do not have any amendment already on the floor of the House. Why is it that Olekina Senator is talking in terms of amendment and yet we have not reached that stage? If he doesn't have anything to talk, to communicate to us, let him do away.
Senator, can you please wind up? I see another point of order from Senator Malala.
Madam Speaker, I would like to request my good friend, Senator Olekina, to have a straight thought process, because he's saying that he is supporting this motion, yet the contents of his contribution are insinuating that he is opposing the motion. So I would like him to be in order and remain steadfast, so that he tells us whether he's supporting this motion or opposing this motion, Madam Speaker.
Senator Olekina, you have only 2 minutes. Can you wind up, please?
Madam Speaker, my 120 seconds will begin running now. And I put my foot on the ground and say, listen, gentlemen, let us not pussyfoot here. Let us be honest and let us speak the fact as they are. COVID is real. I want to continue doing my job as a member of the Health Committee to be able to help this country. I want to be able to put the national government to task. I want to continue with my job to ensure that when Senator Kinyua asked me how much money has gone into Laikipia County, is it Laikipia or Nyandarua County? Laikipia County, I can tell him that it is X amount of money. But the truth of the matter, Madam Speaker, is that because we are now intertwined in this relationship between the executive and the legislative arm of government, it is very difficult for us as the Parliament of Kenya to stand for what we were elected here to be able to defend. So, Madam Speaker, I would hope, and I'm speaking plain English here, I would hope that there will be amendments that will come in that will be able to change this motion so that when I fully support it,
Order,
I can be
Senator.
able to defend it. My 120 seconds are not over. Finally, Madam Speaker, I want to continue doing my job. And as I do so, I hope that Senator Haniri and my good friend from Kitui, whom I supported in the Mangu bill, whom I supported entirely in the Mangu bill, Madam Speaker, will be able to support an adjournment of this House, but with amendments. With amendments, so that we can continue. So, Madam Speaker, the reason why I'm insisting like this is because I have seen that the Speaker did not approve my amendments, which means that this House will not adjourn.